What's up, guys? Again, this Axe here, Ed from Kansas City. Thanks for tuning in again. What do we got going on here? Darkness. Okay. We just wrapped up. That would have been Dragon Arena. I just kind of was just there, really. Not really anything to. I still need to get a grip on that. I really wasn't doing anything super duper or whatsoever at all. But that video, you guys should have seen that one before this one. So now I want to talk about the latest Lords of Mobile update. As you guys know, they have a new update in Lords of Mobile, and it is this right here. The Royal Scouts have discovered 2 new locations for you to explore. And it says, step into the mysterious world of the Mirage Realm, which holds unlimited, guys, unlimited resource and lunite caverns, and allows you to summon and hunt desired monsters. Now, one of the things I did notice in there that it said, and what's added is the Mirage Realm unlocks at Castle, all that. And it says level 12 says check turf boost for details. So I was on here and I was intending to do a video and kind of like basically doing some demonstrations at the same time and whatever I need to do to participate and show you guys how the new update will actually be working. And so I read through the things and looked at it and all of that, as you can see right there. And so I went to the turf boostings, and I didn't see anything that had to do with a Mirage Realm. I didn't see any extra new castles on mine. As you can see, I booted up when I played the game. When I started, you can see what day it is right there. KVK is tomorrow, or Three-Way Kingdom War, or whatever you want to call it. It starts at early in the morning. Of course, I'll be at work, so. Okay, so I do want to swap some gear right quick, guys. As you guys can see, I have on my very beautiful fake gear. It's real good. I think that's believable gear, right? I want to have that on for KVK. So, but for now, I want to put on some crafting gear to do that there because it's just sitting there doing nothing. So I read about the update. Now I've seen a couple of videos. Langer and Worthy Prince both did videos on the upgrade, the Mirage Rim, and all of that type of stuff. So I definitely was waiting on it to come to my server, to this side. I'm not part of the Taiwan server, obviously, right? And so I was waiting on it to come, guys. And now I did have some videos, me and R&R, Mr. Freeze and Hung Solo and three Jaguars. I was waiting on the guys to, and there's another guy, John. I can't think of his name. But I was waiting. We actually did a video of Wonder War, and I did it, but it went so lengthy, and it really didn't. It went way longer than we expected it to go. We did a few rallies on a couple of targets, and so I was going to do that video. I was going to go ahead and post that video, but I figured I'd just go ahead and delete it because it didn't really go, like, it just was too long. The in between events, or it took too long intervals in between each action, so I just kind of like let it be. So, but that's it. I looked at the update. I looked for the update inside my console, and I don't see anything. So I'm like, okay, this is a whole day later after the update came out. So I'm like, where's the update? So I'm like, wow. So now it's another day. So I'm like, what's going on? So I actually end up going to my messages and I saw something. Uh, went to my messages and I saw that it said, um, I saw it said right here. Somebody talking about remove the title. Right. That's what being overlord and all that in the kingdom is supposed to do. Who is this whining, guys? He doesn't want the title. He feels embarrassed or ashamed or something. Fully on him. Let him have the title. Thanks to RR. Shout out to RR, my dudes, Freeze and Hung Solo and them and 3 Jags. I appreciate you guys. With their help, we were able again to beat up on. I did mean to show that video, guys. We did beat up on them in KVK, or not KVK, in Wonder War. We was able to whoop on those guys. Let's see if we have any of them sitting around anywhere. Their guild is over here. I'll go to it right quick, guys. GM, they've been kind of quiet since the other people came. But it's the guild right here, guys. Maybe they're at the bottom. Let's see if they're at the bottom down here. Oh, somebody else is there now. But this guild here, the person who just messaged me. Yeah, let's just slap a title on him too while we're at it, while we're slapping out titles. That's Mr. Freeze right there. What's up, champ? Let's just give him a title too while we're just waiting. Yeah. Alright, but anyway, who's doing what around here? Oh, this guy right here. You slap. Let's give him a title if we can. While he's up burning stuff. Matter of fact, we just gave it to. Yeah, we can sign it on here. Yeah, there we go. Alrighty then. So now he wears a title. I actually put it on the wrong person. My bad, buddy. My bad. Put the title on the wrong person. How could I do such a thing? And then the internet want to act funky. All right, there you go. Now he's looking a little better now, guys. He's looking much better now. Look much better now. The scoundrel. All right. So anyway, so I was looking for the looking for that update in my kingdom, and I noticed this here. Right here, guys. First notice I got said the update right here. Well, that's the last one. The first one I got was this one. It's like this phone just be acting stupid, guys. I don't like it. Where's it at? Yeah, that was it right there. It did that, and then it was supposed to. Right here, guys. We regret to inform you that the newest update, version 2.128, will be delayed as it is still under review by the App Store. Both the Android and iOS version will be published at the same time. Thank you for your support and understanding. So, what do they mean by the App Store? I mean, what is the App Store? I mean, is that Google Play or is that for Apple, which would be I forgot the name of that one. So I don't know. So I'm like, what happened? It's crashed already? So I wanted to give my input and what I see going on with this particular update. So First and foremost, I've heard a lot of players. Everybody is kind of excited about it because hey, you get to gather lunite. Now you guys know what if you are a warring guild or you're a player who does a lot of warring and use a lot of T5, you know that lunite comes slow and it costs. So to be able to get some lunite is very important. Let me speed this up right quick. And let's look at some lunite here. Lunite is very important, guys. Um, as you can see, I don't have much of it at all, guys. I don't have much at all of the lunite. And so lunite is important for T5 troop manufacturing. And so IGG is going to let you freely, as long as you are actively doing it, you can gather and go out um, and the lunite speeds are hard too. You know, lunite without the lunite speed is absolutely nothing. I'm glad that that popped up. Lunite speed without the lunite is absolutely nothing. I only got 6 of those, 86 of those, and 3 of those. So low on that too. It's absolutely nothing. Because what purpose would it be to have millions of lunite but not be able to speed it up? So, of course, IGG is not going to give players lunite speed ups at all. So, my take on it is this, guys, and then with also the auto monster hunting that they're going to allow, and then the infinite amount of resources such as food and all these resources that you're going to be able to also gather freely without interfering. Now, I'm not sure if while you're gathering and doing all that, if your troops who are out gathering, like if you only got a certain amount of troops, will those troops remain in gathering, or can you pull them out, or do you have to pull them out? Like, say for instance, I wanted to join a rally or whatever, and I have my troops that I wanted to join the rally with, but they're gathering lunite or food or whatever. Will those troops have to be pulled back, or will they continue to gather in there so long as I have them selected and out there gathering? Not sure. So, what is the ploy behind it? Why would IGG be doing that? It's very, very obvious, guys. For one, to encourage war, because that would encourage more people to be less concerned about using T5s. Some of the Wonder Wars, some of the Emperor Wars, some of the Titan battles require T5 loss. So a lot of people don't want to continually spend or um, contribute T5's loss due to lunite. You've guys seen me on videos where I'm out of a certain T5 and I have to get lunite to go get lunite just to be able to train some. So they can be extremely uh lunite can be extremely difficult, and it can be a real expense. And so having lunite is really important. So IGG, from what I see, the update is it's real. It's very ingenious, but it's all a part of IGG. The purpose of IGG doing is to compete with the bots. IGG not only wants to as they say it right here in the news, they say now first we have the update, as you can see right there. You will have to buy into it. So instead of buying resources from sellers for gems and speeds and things like that, well, now you can just pay IGG and you can harvest or gather an unlimited amount of resources, as much as you can gather periodically. So, is this going to be a way also that bots can also manipulate or bots can also participate in? Because if castles are able to set their bots to harvest, harness, mine, and gather all of these resources, and especially Lunite, just continuously, is that going to make it where resource and rest sellers, people who sell food and ore and wood and stone and gold, and I don't know if you can harness or gather gold, but all these resources, will that make the people who sell resources even more desired? Will they have a better edge then? And then what about the people with bots who set their bots to gather? Can bots be used in the current, not in the current state, but when the actual update is really working? They set it to the App Store, but we'll get back to that. But so IGG, this is a way for IGG and Lords Mobile to compete with the gem sellers and with the resource sellers in Lords Mobile, who are sellers in the game that are making money. These are people, guys, these are people playing Lords Mobile, and they're making money that IGG would be making off of playing IGG's game. It's kind of like it's kind of like I mean it's absurd. It's crazy. I can't think of a good analogy, a good comparison, but it's like using somebody else's stuff to make money. Sort of like a drop shipper. A drop shipper doesn't own anything. If you guys are familiar with drop shipping, if you've ever ordered off Amazon or eBay, and sometimes you'll see a seller on there on one of those particular sites, and what that seller will do is he'll advertise or he'll list or post an item that he does not have. But he knows that another eBay seller or somebody in China, a manufacturer, they sell the item and they may have a sufficient amount of resources like that, or an efficient. There's my baby over there, guys. She's chilling. No, my lad, she goes. But anyway, they may. So what that person will do is they will relist or they'll list that item. Say for instance, the item is a. Let's think of a random item. Uh, some gloves or an Apple charger or a Samsung charger or a phone charger or a phone in general or headsets or headphones or speakers or essentials like tissue or body soap or fragrances. What a drop shipper does, or for better, for lack of a better word, a copycat or a fraud. What they'll do is they'll make a listing, and this is how they make their money. They can make a living like this. They'll make a listing. They don't have the product, they don't own the product. But what they'll do is they'll find another seller, whether already on eBay or Amazon or on Walmart. And what they'll do is they'll make listings as if they have this item or quantities of it. And when somebody purchases it, what they'll do is go and purchase it with that person's money or with their own money. They'll go buy that item and they'll have it shipped to the person who bought it. So this person started out investing nothing in the item and they just reap 100% benefits. Especially if they're getting it from a good seller, a reputable seller, a seller whose account's in good standing, they got good feedback. Uh, they don't want to take. They don't want to get any losses done to their accounts, such as they want to get good feedback, not negative feedback. They don't want to, any problems. And so that's kind of what these gem sellers and these resource sellers and IGG are doing. The game belongs to IGG, but these people are taking the game and the structure and manipulating it. They're taking what IGG has and they're pocketing money off of IGG's app, Lords Mobile. And so IGG is not getting that money. Um, IGG is not getting it. Unlike the drop shipper who's getting the money and the person they're buying it from, the other eBay seller or the Amazon seller, they're getting paid. The drop shipper is then turning it and selling it for much higher. Though we had that happen with us one time. We sold a Fitbit watch. We sell it for about $85 Fitbit watch. And what happened was somebody bought it from us. The seller actually sells on Walmart as well. They bought it from us. We shipped it. Someone purchased it from us. They had it shipped to another person, a third person. The third person got the item, and something happened to where the buyer said it wasn't nothing wrong with the item. The buyer said something about they didn't get an extra band or something that happened. They contacted the Better Business Bureau with their complaint. We came to find out when we did our background and our search that the person who bought it from us, sold it to them for 250 bucks or $210, something like it was 200 something, whereas we only sold it to them for $85. So they nearly tripled their money. We contacted the Better Business Bureau, responded to their their inquiry, and they straightened it all out. They found out the problem. We had no dealings with the original, with the person who received the item. That person didn't buy through us. But anyway, my point is this: is that my point is that IGG, these these updates that IGG are doing are meant to eliminate or compete with, at best, the sellers and Lunite. Because one thing you can't do is you cannot get Lunite through a res seller. There's no way to give a person Lunite if you wanted to gift a person. If you wanted to gift someone, you wouldn't do it through unique items. Let's see if there's any. Let's see speed ups. You can't gift them Lunite, guys. Unique items. You can gift them Tycoon and Holy Stars and anime and chaos cores and tomes, extracts and all that stuff. Or, but you cannot gift a player Lunite. Lunite is something IGG has exclusively dominated at this point. So now that they've come up with a way for players to freely harvest and gather Lunite is ingenious. I mean, they're doing it abruptly, guys. There was no indicators, no forewarning. They just bam here. Gather your own dang Lunite and stop complaining that Lunite costs so much and that you can't get it any other way and you have to be at our beckoning to get it. They just, voila, like a magical poof. Here's Lunite hunting or gathering. So they did it in a way so that now every player, just about, if it costs $5 to invest in it per month, you subscribe, IGG gets a continual flow, a continual. IGG will get a non-ending financing or subscribers who are buying into Lords Mobile who would otherwise not buy into Lords Mobile for their subscriptions, which I do not. I've done it one time to buy something like you maybe the I think it was the not the familiar bundle, it was the turf thing. Yeah, the auto complete admin because I wanted to get guild coins to migrate and things like that. I had so many of them, so many of the uh, I had so many of these. Uh I'm talking about literally like this many right here, like 10,000, 14,000 and all that or whatever I had. I probably didn't have this many because admin quests normally are twice as high as the other ones. So I had quite a few. I had so many. I had 7, 8,000, 9,000. Too many of them to be sitting there doing this all day. So I bought into it way back then. So the point I'm making is that now IGG has come up with a way for to get subscribers in their monthly revenue, so that players, most players, anybody that can or who have T5, they're going to go into this. And the real twist is the players that don't even have T5 will be prepping and hunting or they will be preparing to unlock T5, but at the same time they'll be using it for resources. So this is another way to give people who sell rest or resources another angle to sell even more resources as they're able to get them unlimitedly. And we don't know the ins and outs because you can gather them unlimitedly, but can you store them unlimitedly? That is going to be another thing too. Can you store them unlimitedly, or will it allow you to only have such as, let's see, let's go here and say food. It says max food is 36 million that you can manufacture or produce per uh, day or in general, And there is the max stone is 6,000 6 million. So will this new gathering of resources, will it supersede or will it make this obsolete? So now that I can store as much food as I want, or will it only be in my bags where I can have infinite amount of resources in my bag? So there's a lot of twists and angles here, guys, because down that players can infinitely gather and store up in their bags resources, this can change for people who like to attack and raid other players with their shields, who their shields are down, smaller players for their resources. So it's another way for people to store up resources, and then that's another angle, another side for players to have a much quicker access or more plentiful um, avenue to resources from people who are gathering them, but they can't be stored except or they can't be stored except out of their bag is what I meant. So the other angle is even free to play players will be buying into this because if you're free to play, now you have an opportunity to get unlimited amounts of resources in your own turf, rather as opposed to having to always make some troops and come out here to look for troops. So to look for resources. So now you don't have to look outside. You just go right inside your castle, and inside your own castle, and gather S, gather resources. So IGG has really come up with a way not only to generate revenues, but also to take back what they've lost, and that is so many of these bots who have brought a lot of unwelcoming and undesirable aspects to the game from Lost Mobile, and because we got to take it from a business standpoint. Lost Mobile's in this game; they developed this game to make money. Well, if they got so many other engineers and developers and players that are making money off of their game, money that they're losing revenue to, it becomes real serious then, guys. And it becomes so much that IGG is like, we need to go back to the drawing board and figure out what the heck is going on, because to these bots, to these resource sellers, we're losing how much revenue are we losing per month or per year? So that lets you know IGG is like, okay, we could have grossed. We're already one of the highest grossed at the Google in the Google store. So we could be much more. If we're already making, say, they're making a billion point, 5 a year. They're like, we could have been at a billion point 8 or 9, almost 2 billion, if it were not for all of these people who are selling resources to players. So they're like, how can we fix this? Well, let's let players gather resource as much as they want, free to play, pay to play. Let's let them gather as much resource as they want. On top of that, let's let them gather lunite. So it's like, it's not just for the pay to play. It's not just for the people that with T5. It's for people without T5. And hopefully what they're thinking is that the players will be like, why do I need to buy resources from you when I'm gathering resources inside my castle in another building all day long? And I'm hunting monsters. So now I don't really need your bot to hunt monsters. I got my own inside my castle. I can set my own bot in my own castle, my own uh rim. I can set my own rim in here to hunt monsters. So IGG wants to blame it on, as we said, um, IGG wants to say that the problem is still reviewed by the App Store. I disagree with that, guys. Just blindly, without any understanding or knowledge of, I disagree with, because I think it's a lie. I don't think that ever, unless IGG is not paying their bill, which I'm sure IGG is paying their bill to all of the platforms that they're using, whether it's iOS or Android. I'm sure that they're paying their bills. So why would they have an App Store problem with the purchase? It will be laid as it is still under review by the App Store. Why would something like this be delayed as still being reviewed by the App Store? Yeah, it's real. Now, they can say what they want to say. They don't have to disclose any of their private and internal problems with us, the users. They don't have to. They don't. We're not privy, or uh, we're not. They're not obligated to share that information with us. I doubt it very serious if that is the case here, because those things are agreed upon and signed, and all of that paperwork and all of that, online contracts and all that stuff is dealt with immediately. And I know things happen. I know things happen. But I disagree that that is the reason. I think that the developers, when they did the update, it just ain't functioning properly. It maybe somewhere they're not ironed out all of the hiccups and the glitches is what it is. There are things happening that shouldn't be happening. Maybe you're in there gathering resources inside your kingdom, and somehow, um, your troops, when you want to use your troops for war, your troops are still in there gathering, and even though you got troops in there gathering, you got those same amount of troops on the outside when you're filling a rally. So it's like, oh, hold on, y'all, we're not deducting the amount of troops. The So this person who had 1 million T4 range, he's got, or 1 million T4 siege, he's got a million of them gathering, and he still has a million of them outside his castle now he can use. So it's like giving a person extra troops to hunt with. On top of that, that would be way too generous. So maybe I think there's some flaws in there, some little gremlins, some little developer gremlins that are going on in there that cause a hiccup. And rather than IGG doing a emergency maintenance to fix it, they just say something like this. Now I don't know. It could be true. Don't let me put that out there. But I just don't see it as being an app store or because they said an app store. Whose app store? You know, and so I don't get that one. I don't get it at all. But overall, it is a great way for IG to try to capture and regain some of the territory and some of the funds that they have been losing. I'm talking about that's like just literally that's like I mean that's worse than a leaking faucet, guys. I mean that's just money just going down the drain that they're losing to bots. I mean the bot developers are getting paid, guys. They have people paying them monthly. $5, $7, $24, and then some are just doing a yearly purchase for the bots, $59, $60. Well, I mean, that's money IGG is not getting under a contract or an agreement with a buyer that they will love to have. I mean, can you imagine if 50%, 75% even, or 90% of the large mobile players had a subscription or subscribe to purchasing something for $5 or more per month? The game has been in making, or it has been uh, the game has been going for this long. I mean, if the game has been going for this long, that's a lot of money that IGG has lost. So my point and my take on it is that IGG is making it taking a stand. They've already took a stand as far as discouraging and warning players for having any kind of um, they're already discouraging and warning players for using any kind of anything that basically cheats or uh, posting false to game, claiming that they can give you free gems, downloading apps, and all this here, message you. So there's one of the things there. Another thing is we noticed that there's been recent attempts to get players to download unknown apps through various means, including impersonating official websites and distributing fake rewards, personal information, all that type of stuff. So that's one. Third party use right here. As part of our commitment to maintaining fair gaming environment, that's dealing with bots. We recently detected and blocked accounts that were found to have used illegal third-party programs to engage in prohibited activities such as collecting information from the kingdom map. Whereas bots are able to do so much, guys. So IGG has come up with a way to be like, I mean, they literally have specialists and project managers, and I'm talking about all sorts of people that this company can afford to come together and figure out first of all how can we understand what's going on, and then once we understand what the hell is going on, how can we stop it from or compete with it? Because I don't think they'll be able to stop it with this app or with this update, should I say. What they're doing right now won't be able to necessarily stop it because no, and you want and you may not want to cross boundaries to the point where you're letting players IGG is letting players have their own bots to where you can find out if somebody's offline and all this other stuff that people are sharing people's personal information. Like I'm not supposed to be able to see another person's IGG uh Lord's mobile account. That is it right there. It's not plugged up, guys. Hold on. Okay, there it is. I'm not supposed to be able to see another person's IGG in-game ID and all that type of stuff. It shouldn't. So that's the thing about bots. It's crazy because that shouldn't happen. You shouldn't have people's personal information like that. And there's no telling what other things personal information bots could also easily get. If they can, if a bot can get, and I know some things are encrypted, such as your payment methods and all that stuff. But if bots are able to get every piece of information off of Lord's Mobile that deals with your Lord's Mobile account, then I'm sure they can also get into the financial paying method and all of that as well. So that is my thoughts on that, guys. I found it very interesting that IGG now wants to, rather than forbidding players to do all of this and that. It started out back in the day they couldn't even stop players from hacking into Lord's Mobile, Lord's Mobile server or the game in general, and just accredit to accounts millions and millions of gems and things like that. And it happened, guys. So I mean, there's a lot that's been going on in this game with hackers. So anything you got something big like this, that's as ranked as they are as in financing, you're always going to have some players and people that are sitting back in the cup. They're kind of like online criminals or uh, um, you know criminal developers is what they basically are, guys. I mean, you couldn't get away with this in the real world if you went around uh, finding out how to make money off of people who go to the bank. How can I make money off their money in the bank? Or how can I make money off the bank charging people stuff for something? I mean, it's like all sorts of ways that people do stuff that is not right. Anyway, that is it, guys. I wanted to share that with you. And hope that you liked that video. What we got going on here? Oh, yes, I wanted to definitely share that with you guys. Yep, indeed. I don't have buy one get one yet, right? So, so I wanted to get that before the time is up for the next thing to come out. I needed both of those, right? I think so. So yeah, I needed that, guys. It's all good. So I'm out of here, guys. I appreciate y'all watching the video. Got more things, more good things, or more things, or more good things. Either way you want to look at it. Thanks for viewing the channel, guys. Thanks for the support. Give a thumbs up to the video if you liked it, guys. Or if it made sense to you. I'm out. Have a good night, guys. Have a good weekend. Ed from Kansas City.